Hello folks, this is Michael Balch with Evergreen of Johnson City. I hope you're doing well. We're going to share with you a quick little video tip on preparing outdoor pots for your patio, your landscape, your porch, your deck, wherever you might like to enjoy outdoor pots and landscape. They're extremely versatile. Great thing is you can move them around. You can change it every year. You don't have to have permanent flower spots or a permanent place that you have to commit to. That's a great thing. If you live in an apartment, if you live somewhere where you don't have landscape per se or much area to work with, you can always have your small garden in a pot, a container of any size. Now, I don't normally recommend doing really small pots. They're a little hard to water, but really there is no size that's right or wrong. The bigger the pot, the more mixture you can get in. So let's go backwards a little bit. If you reuse your pots every year and you store this away, realize that most potting soils that you buy, if they're good potting soils, they're soilless mixes, which means really there is no soil to go bad. It's peat moss, vermiculite, perlite, pine bark. They're all things that break up and drain well, and that's a really good key to success with soils. You do want to drain well. Soils that are heavy and wet and do not percolate well are not good for most plants. So kind of remember that when you think about the soils you buy. There are a lot of good ones. We would have several options. We have a Jolly Gardener, a professional potting soil blend. We have the Furlome Organic Ultimate Potting Soil Blend. If you come to Evergreen, we're going to recommend 1 or 2 or 3 of our top choices. They are nice, pliable, easy to move, maneuver, and work in. So you're either going to pour your soils directly in the container, or if it's a used pot, you're going to dump it out, break it up, stomp it, break all the roots loose, so where you get right back to the same loose state as what you had if you were starting new. Nothing wrong with using your soil back over again. Once you've done that and you've loosened that up, and you've refilled your soil back up to within a couple inches of the rim of the pot, basically take some Furlome fertilizer. We recommend Gardener Special fertilizer. It's a really good one. I find preference to this over a lot of fertilizer. You want to take a couple good handfuls and broadcast it in here and just blend this up to where you create that mixture in the top half of the pot. That's going to give you probably your first 4 to 6 weeks of fertilizer. You can then follow up with the water-soluble fertilizer, which can be one of many. There's not really wrong. Make sure it's for something high in phosphorus, good for flowers and annuals. And you want to supplement that maybe once a month as you go along. But that granular gets you a great start, and I highly recommend that always in your pots. Now, once you get all that done, you are basically ready to make your choices as to what I want to put in that pot. There is no right or wrong, please understand. You can take something as simple as a pre-mixed potted basket or container. Here I have an example of a hanging basket that was a pre-mix that the grower put multiple varieties of petunias, verbena, calabrachia. You can take the hanger off, dump it out of the pot, shift it right down into the soil, and you have a pot in a container that looks like it's been growing for a month. You can also take another one of my favorites, and there are many begonias. This is a whopper begonia. Comes in pink and red. This thing is absolutely massive when it comes to size. There's many varieties to choose from. There's dark leaf begonias, there's green leaf begonias, there's whopper, there's big begonias, there's dragonwing begonias. This happens to be a dragonwing, and I've done these in pots every year for a long time. Absolute people always talk about them. This thing will get enormous. It'll be 2 feet tall, 3 feet wide. It will simply not stop flowering the time you plant it until frost kills it. Nothing better than that. So those are simple things. You're simply just buying something pre-grown, and you're going to have something that's going to be instant. If you're preparing for a party, preparing for something you don't want to wait for a week or a month to develop, they'll think you've been growing that for a month. Short of that, your options are you can also pick multiple selections of your favorite colors, your favorite annuals, mix things that create you an eclectic mix and look. Here, if you can see the top of this planter, this is what we've taken some zinnias and some lantanas, some calabrachia, some bacopa, Victoria, and we mix it all together. Just one way to do it. Simply, I probably never do a pot the same way every year. So that kind of gives you some ideas on preparation, fertilizer, soil, plant choices. We're going to continue on the next video talking more about actually installing one of these. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for your attention.